She'll probably know which way to go once she's driving, so she'll remember. But can you explain to her? It's going to just confuse her. You're not trying to explain to her. No, I think it's as I say in
Tracy?
Please stand clear of the doors.
Probably through the building.
Whoa, look at that. Behind it. You see the heat there? Whoa.
No, not for big jumps.
Oh, Cessna. Cessna. Propeller. Hello. Is that wide angle too?
That's not our aeroplane. Just.
No, that's
that one.
right now. It's yeah, is it?
Yeah, that's not our aeroplane. That's that one. Chris, I want one of them. And then another.
Continental, except Atlanta, Chicago, and Dallas. Continental International arrivals. Continental Express.
Sun shining. It's tall. It's so tall, and I'm like amazing.
They, if you don't pay back your home equity loan, they can take away your house. If you don't pay back your credit card, they ruin your credit rating, but at least you still have
Jay Dow, CBS 2 News.
CBS 2 News has your eye on the economy. We'll continue to keep track of all the ups and downs and help you weather the storm.
A man who lured a Chinese food delivery man to a housing development and then brutally stabbed him has been convicted of attempted murder. 23-year-old David Moore was arrested after being identified.
To holiday.
I thought you were going to take a photo.
No, it's a talk.
No, you just get to look like an alcoholic with your cheers. You're blinding everyone. Wait,
So really, it's bright, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the thing is, you get mum boobs bleeding out.
I'm really shallow.
I was so tempted to get the camera out and record it because it's really...
You do, you snore like a trumpet. That's a good snore. No, a trumpet, not a guitar. Fool. What are you going about?
just stick your head over.
Olha.
政治のビルこの手前の黒いのかその前の白いのかどっち G だ G 止まっちゃってる言ってくれるそうだったんでくれる
Well, you don't have to do it on mic, but you can certainly. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but thanks for coming, everybody, and I'm turning the mic over to my colleague Erica. If you have any questions, ask away.
Okay.
Good morning. My name is Erica, and I'm a volunteer zoo guide here. Welcome to the Penguin House. We have two kinds of penguins here, the Gentoos, which is G-E-N, T-O-O, and the chin feathers under their chins. Both the Gentoos and the chin straps live and breed in the freezing conditions of Antarctica, and so this exhibit mimics their natural environment, and it may be the most technologically complex.
Two helicopters and the one they got on board. Actually turn that far away.
It's very unusual, right?
Pronunciation therapy or something. My words are all slurred at the moment.
Come through this to fix the train. What's this go under? Something useless off it,
就放它上来。
As a reminder, it is Continental's policy that you keep your seatbelt fastened at all times while seated. Please take care and open the overhead bins as contents may have shifted during take. Channel 1 is English, Channel 10 is Spanish. In a few minutes, we'll be offering you a beverage service and a light lunch. Our beverage selection includes a variety of soft drinks, juices, cocktails. We do not have change with us. The use of cell phones, the use of approved portable electronics is permitted at this time. We invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the 2-hour and 20-minute flight to Mickey.
I want one. That's not a gecko though. I want it. It's not a gecko. Geckos have really tumble dry washing machine as well. Yes, I'm doing it! Ah! I've done it! I've done it!
Oh, how is the car doing down there? Look, it's a bit
addition to the wing, the rear bumper has been lowered 3 inches. This helps increase downforce to your car. But beneath the body, it's all race car, including changes that can't be seen from the outside. Energy management materials, tested, and hydration have been considered. With cockpit temperatures reaching 130 degrees, large
here represented the dream come true for him, the drivers, and race fans everywhere. 41,000 people attended that historic race, and since then, Daytona International Speedway has become an American institution. In conjunction with Daytona International Speedway, International Speedway Corporation is also responsible for owning such features Talladega Super Speedway, California Speedway, as well as Richmond International Raceway. Got out and name a few.
Good. Oh, that my ass was.
We are going to the famous twin tunnels here at the Speedway. They do set about 25 feet under turn number 4 and connect Bill Frank Boulevard to the infield. The track does set on 480 acres of property. 180 of that make up the infield area. Well, back in July of 1998, we installed our outdoor lighting system here at the Speedway for our first July night race. However, there was a ration of wildfires going through the area at that time, and that race did have to be postponed until October 17th of that year. Well, when we finally turned the lights on that evening to a sellout crowd, this place lit up like a Christmas tree, and rightfully so. If you'll take a look around the exterior of the Speedway, you'll see a series of light poles. There are 191 of those light poles, and they consist of anywhere from 4 to a dozen 1250 watt light bulbs. If you'll take a look along the inside wall, you'll see a series of light boxes. There are 288 of those light boxes, and they have one 2,000 watt light bulb in them. If a driver were to happen to spin out during a night race and come in direct eye contact with those lights, he wouldn't be blinded. And folks, that's simply done with mirrors. There is a mirror configuration inside of those light boxes. The system was installed by Musco Lighting of Iowa at a cost of $5 million. We are going through turns 3 and 4 right now. You are looking out at a 31-degree banking. And if you look down at that solid yellow line on the bottom and measure up to that white broken line up towards the top, that distance is 30 feet. Now the drivers will come through here 3 wide at over 190 miles an hour. Occasionally they'll come through here 4 wide, and occasionally that does work. But most of the time it doesn't, and somebody ends up into that outside retainer wall. Well, that outside retainer wall, that's known as a safer barrier. Safer standing for steel and foam energy reduction. There are 9 miles of steel tubing that make up that safer barrier wall around the Speedway. If you'll look to your right over there at that Daytona emblem on the wall, and get a little bit closer look at that safer barrier, the outside wall is made of concrete. The inside wall is made of steel, and the blocks you see in between the 2 walls are made of styrofoam. Therefore, if the driver would happen to come in contact with that wall, it would flex or bend just a little bit, therefore reducing the energy from the impact and making it safer for the drivers. So folks, as we turn the corner here, you'll notice a large body of water over there to your left. That is Lake Floyd. Back in the late 1950s when Big Bill was building the Speedway, that's where he got the 1 million cubic yards of dirt to build the high banks here at the track. Lake Floyd was originally 44 acres in size. Back in 2004, we did a multi-million-dollar garage renovation. and we filled in Lake Lloyd by 1/3. It's now 29 acres in size, and in its place, we've created 250 premium RV spots. If you have a reservation in here for Speed Week or race day, you can bring your RV in. That is this fenced in area right here to your left between us and the water. And you can hook up to water, electric, and cable TV. Lake Lloyd is also used for water skiing exhibitions, speedboat races, and bass fishing tournaments. However, its primary use is irrigation and fire protection. If you look at the Super Stretch grandstands over there, that would be the yellow, orange, and blue grandstand section. That is our Tiny Lund, Bobby Allison Super Stretch grandstands. Back in 1994, those grandstands seated almost 4,000 race fans. As you can tell, we've added a few seats since then. And today, they seat nearly 58,000 race fans. If you look at the top left-hand corner of those grandstands, you'll notice a small fenced-in area up there. That's one of two of the team's spotter stands. The track is so large that we do have a second spotter stand, and it is located over on the front stretch, about 14 stories above the racing surface on top of the sprint tower. Speaking of the front stretch, if you'll take a good look at those front stretch seats, they do stretch 8/10 of a mile in length, and they seat 109,000 race fans. If you'll add that to the 58,000 race fans on the super stretch, we have been told by the media that that makes us one of the largest cities here in Florida on race day for a short time. Well, you see this blue guardrail area here to your left. That is our International Horseshoe. That's used by the Rolex cars. That is part of our 3.56 mile infield road course. It's also used by the motorcycles in March and in October for Oktoberfest. The SCCA cars, they do hold several events here throughout the year as well. That is the Sports Car Club of America. And they'll use that course while they're here. Well, we are entering the nationwide garages. I told you back in 2004 that we did a major garage renovation. We started in here with bulldozers at one end and the other, and we completely leveled these garage areas. And these are the new facilities today. In just a few minutes, there is a Sunoco fueling station, one on each end, and a Goodyear garage, one on each end. Sunoco is the official fuel of NASCAR. As we turn the corner here, if you look at pump number 7 and 8 right there on the end, you'll notice it has 112 octane on it. Right now, I believe that they're using 98 octane in the race cars today. Well, folks, we're going to give you an opportunity to exit off the tram here in just a moment. We're going to take a walk down in Gatorade Victory Lane. You can go up on the podium. You can take a picture up there if you like. I would ask that you please stay out of the grandstand area, though. Those are off limits. As the tram does come to a complete stop, you may exit the left-hand side.
Are they Rolex? Honda.
course. Watch out.
You guys are welcome to go up on the podium if you like and take some pictures.
You ready, Ben?
I'll stand in line to go next.
Yeah, man, I'll give you one of you. Now, you go first. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. You ready to push it? Yeah.
Can't see anything. Blind.
Right, Brian. Just take a picture.
Underneath of the Y is where MRN radio broadcasts from. Underneath the T is where Race Control broadcasts from, and underneath of the O is where Larry Mack and DW hang out and do their live TV broadcast. And then the rest of that glass-in area, that is NASCAR Technical Inspection. And you can actually walk right up to the fence right there and watch the officials as they inspect the cars. Also, you can come over and enjoy the Budweiser Bistro. That's not your typical hamburger hot dog stand. That's a lot of fun to go in there and eat. Or you can go over and view into the Cup garages. That would be the red and white buildings over there. You'll see the windows that are on the side of the garages. You can actually walk up to those windows and take a look in the garage areas as the teams live concerts before the race as well. Well, folks, I told you we tore down almost every building in sight. This building coming up on our left here is one building that we did not tear down. This is our media center. We've had such a large demand for the media that we've actually increased that 3 times in size. And this area coming up to our right over here, inside this fenced-in area with the concrete pad, that's where the drivers park their motor coaches so that they can be close to their work, which is located just across the street here to your left. And that is the Sprint Cup garages. There are actually 74 of these garages in all. 44 of them are under roof. And speaking of the roof, if you have a ticket to the Sprint Fan Zone, you can go up on top of the Sprint Fan deck and overlook the teams as they're at work. That white rectangle box you see right there is one of 4 Jumbotron televisions located around the speedway. And that black score tower is one of 3 score towers located around the speedway. The top number tells you the laps that the race is on. And the rest of the numbers tell you what position your favorite driver's running in. Speaking of which, if you've ever seen your favorite driver take a ride in the ambulance to the infield care center, that's this building right here to our right. That is state-of-the-art and fully staffed during racing events. We do understand that they are capable of taking care of anything from a cut finger listen to the last lap of this year's Daytona 500.
No holds barred for this final lap around here. At the start-finish line, white flag goes in the air. The leader is Tony Stewart. Ryan Newman sits back there in second. Real fast scramble for 3rd place. Will they come back without a yellow flag? They head for turn 1.
Tony Stewart opens up a car length advantage. That's Ryan Newman giving it a little run. He goes to the high side. Stewart blocks it. Here comes Kyle Busch to the bottom. Smoke can't block them both. Here's Kyle to the bottom for the lead off 2. Kyle Busch for the final time trying to take the win here at Daytona. His teammate Tony Stewart makes the run. Newman gets through to the outside. Newman for the lead. Busch to second. Stewart will win the third. Tony Stewart through now. He's all the way back to 4th. You got a Dodge Charger up front. Ryan Newman leading the field off turn number 4. The battle will be for second.
Ryan Newman brings him off turn 4 for the last time into the triangle.
Max Theater. It's a
How did you say you opened the What's that?
time to wet any whistle. Oh, strictly medicinal, you understand? Of course, I'm not really sure what medicinal value it has these days, given the fact that I happen to be dead. So while I'm here, let me tell you about good old Robert Ripley's fascination with the dearly departed. Yes. Many an interesting epitaph can be found chiseled here in granite from around the world. And mind you, they're all true. And Ripley, he recorded hundreds of them. In fact, back in his early days, old Rip was a bit of a chiseler himself. In stone, that is, in stone. Well, that you're about to see for yourself. So as they say, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and bottoms up.
Pounds plus. So you've got an animal here that's running over 11 feet. You get to see some length. Where did he go? He was here just a second ago. There, Hunter, come here for a sec. Come here, big boy. Come here, Hunter. Come here. Looking by that age. Or else growing in directions we're really not fond of growing in. So once you hit 40, it's all downhill from there. Unless you're an alligator, it works out pretty well. Hey, if you want to live a long time, take some advice the alligators are giving you right now. Stress-free living. This is average alligator activity. And I don't care if you're down in the Everglades or up in the Okefenokee or out in some bayou in Louisiana. When you come across, especially when the sun comes out, what are the alligators going to be doing? By the way, I wouldn't say sunbathing's good, basking. I heard the switch is still on, trust me on that one. But they do like to bask in the sun. Not because it feels good, not because they're working on their tan. They're a lot more, buddy, too. And you know what she means. Cold-blooded, okay, he's going to tell us what does it mean? I'll give you two. Yeah, I'll give you two. Open up the water. Good boy. Here you go. These osteoderms, these bony plates on the backside of the crocodilian soak up the sun.
Predisposed to buy it. They just don't go around doing that like some people think. Another thing is it has to have a reason. Now your reason and the snake's reason might not be the same. You might be a snake lover walking through the woods and step beside one that bites you on the ankle. Understand, you may love snakes. The snake doesn't know that. Snakes don't is misunderstood as a reason is. It's still a reason. They only bite it if they have to. Snakes that are used to being handled by people, they don't recognize me as food.
We have to have a
NASA is on the edge of a bold new challenge, the constellation program. We will return human explorers to the moon and then venture even farther. Kennedy Space Center will play a critical role in this new chapter in exploration.
Three of the Atlantis. There's actually three. One is kind of back a little bit. And I'd like you to take notice of the American flag on the VAB, the Vehicle Assembly Building. That flag is the size of a football field. That's Launchpad A that you can see.
Jess, come here, back.
No, stop. Oh my god! Just jump! Wait, you jump in one side, I'll jump in this side. Okay. Can you get me? This one's deeper. I don't want to. Stay that side, Justin. Don't stay that side. What are you on about? Okay, I'm get a picture of me and Aiden jumping at the same time. Okay, ready? I'm not jumping in that end.
Why?
I'm down that.
You want the deep end to jump in? Don't jump. Well, jump in here then.
1, no, 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna jump. I will. 1, 2, 3. You jump. It's not that bad. You're not cold. Just.
Otherwise, nothing else in there, no?
Can just split the box split in your suitcase. Between your clothes, is it?
So, should be on the bottom of that. Yeah.
Can you click them away first?
Try and go one more.
One, 2, 3. Stop doing that, right? 3. Get off! 1, 2. As long as you can. 3. You just shoved your arse in my face. Monkey. I'm going back in.
Set a stop.
You just add like an extra 3 syllables to the word set.
I don't really care.
You're a fool.
Am I bothered?
Should be.
Well, I'm not.
That light's really bright.
Stop feeling hideous.
That's right, baby.
Do you mind? That's kind of bright.
Don't hit me. You stop insulting me like every other sentence then. There's no need for it.